Ready? Are we ready? I'm just going to... Welcome to Industry Insider with Lucy Halen from Never Fully Dressed. I'm Laura Puddy, editor of Heat Style Book, and we are chatting all things about your amazing business. So, tell me, what's a typical day like for you?
Today's been a typical day. I feel like today has been non-stop. Depends, if one of the kids have wet the bed, then they'll probably be in about 4. If not, between 5 and 6 they're in. If not, then I come in, we had fit session, footwear development meeting, sunglass development meeting, this. Yeah. And then I was just saying to a colleague, so I'll tend to start my actual admin, like my actual work when the kids go to bed. If we're a shoot day, shoot days full on as well. I feel like you have to be mentally switched on a shoot day, like constantly. Sometimes when I get home and my husband and I laugh, like he's a roofer as well, so quite manual. We'll both get into bed and be like, I suppose when we get back, I do have a nanny 4 days, which is a godsend, she's amazing. So I get back about 6, and then we do kids, so dinner, bath, bed, whatever, and then you start working a little bit.
So you're a non-stop working mum, doing it all basically.
Yeah, no, I try to.
You do, and you do
it
very well.
A jack of all trades, yeah, probably a nice.
So what inspired you to start Never Fully Dressed?
I'm a failed actress, so that's what I used to want to do, and I'm not very good at doing nothing. So while I was failing at that, I started the markets. Do you know what I mean? My mum and dad were from market background, they had shops, and so I think you just have that in your blood. And I was always creative, so I started to just customise bits. So I used to customise bits and started selling them at the markets really. And Portobello, Spitfields were amazing. They were so good. I think it's hard to be an entrepreneur, especially now where everything is so cyber. Do I sound old saying that word? Is that people still use that word? Like it's on the World Wide Web. You're behind and you can do everything from your bedroom. It makes it less. It's a bit of a two-edged sword because I think then Instagram and stuff have made the world smaller, so you can interact with people, but it can be a bit more lonely. Whereas I think the markets for me were other entrepreneurs, people who had started their business and you were all in the same boat, so you almost had a team feel there, even though I was just doing the business by myself. And at the time, I didn't start it as a business in my head. I didn't think, this is where I want to go. This is my 3-year plan. I was just kind of working and seeing how it went, I suppose.
So how have you seen the fashion industry change, not only during the pandemic, but also over the last few years?
I know we touched on like inclusivity, so that's become much more. There's a couple of models we've worked with recently, more curve models, and they've moved to London because there was no work. One was from France. Like there was just no. It's changed now, but I'm talking maybe 5 years ago. That wasn't an industry over there. There was no work for curve models, whereas now. It's amazing that has completely changed, and there's so much work for curve now. It feels so much more inclusive. For us, where our customers are influencer, that celebration of, and I use normal in the most flattering sense,
yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Celebration of that is what excites me. For someone who works all week and as a party to go to and has worked hard for that money and they want to choose to buy that dress to go out with, how flattering is that? Do you know what I mean?
I think that's something you do very well, the inclusivity, the celebrating of your customer, and like you said, your customer is your influencer, and that absolutely speaks volumes. So what's the most memorable day of your career today?
I do remember when Beyonce wore Never Fully Dressed and she bought it and I was out shooting and then people started sending me it. That was cool.
And that's pretty epic.
Oh, we've done like a good pop-up. I remember the pop-up in LA was brilliant. The last one that we did there. We were meant to have been there last year, but obviously COVID, it cancelled. But that was a really good feeling. I felt like we were doing something good there. Yeah. Even when, to be honest, we just expanded our office. And I felt like there's a bit of pride in that. I think, not that I've been embarrassed. My brother and sister both work in the city. And they're quite officey. So whenever anyone talks of the businessy side of stuff, I kind of shun it. I get a bit embarrassed, do you know what I mean? But I think, I was like, actually I feel like quite proud now.
Yeah. So what are your 5 top styling tips or tricks that you would use? Now we know you do the Instagram videos all the time, which you're very well known for, so what would be your top 5 tips?
I would say, don't keep best for best.
Yes, I agree.
I think for me, I'm like, get your best silverware out for every night dinner that you have with your family.
Yeah.
The same as a dress, like, enjoy that. If something makes you smile when you put that on, maybe that's two there, wear it every day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whatever gives you a spring in your step. Have fun with colour. I feel like you're a long time dead. Do you know what I mean? It's like, do you know what I mean? Just have fun with something.
Yeah.
It goes back to that thing that if you put something on and, like when a woman walks out the changing room for us and she stands in a different way and you see someone smiling something, do that. Do you know what I mean? Just have a bit more fun with it. And it's infectious. If you were to come in that dress, I'd go, oh, you look amazing. Do you know what I mean? And then that brightens my day and then that just
has a knock-on
moves
effect.
on.
Yeah.
I still feel whatever you feel comfortable in. Do you know what I mean? No matter where you're going, even if it's putting heels on or wearing a certain thing, I think that confidence is the best thing you can wear.
Yeah.
I remember I think being tall when I was younger or whatever, like I would never wear heels and you don't stand well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and don't feel pressured to wear anything, whether if it's a trend. Do you know what I mean? I don't still wear what suits you.
Yeah.
I'm quite an investment shopper, so if something feels, maybe that just comes with age as well though, do you know what I mean? If it's faddy, yeah, I'd rather buy one bag or one coat and I'm quite bad like that. I have the same things in my wardrobe that I've worn for donkey's years. Think of the life cycle of that product, so whether it's you hand it down to the next generation, the generation after that, or we have a pre-loved initiative so you can sell back your old never fully dressed to us, we'll repurpose or resell, so someone will find that and love that. So I think be conscious of where that product will end up, so whether it brings someone else that joy or just making sure it doesn't go to landfill. I think just shopping a bit more consciously like that.
So I know that Never Fully Dressed are very aware of sustainability, and I know that you guys have loads of initiatives. So give us a little bit of information about what you're doing. You just mentioned
Pre-loved.
pre-loved.
Yeah.
So I know that's something you're really working on at the moment.
Yeah, I think naturally before sustainability became as a trendy buzzword, it's how I would work as a person, showing how I'm wired. Like the kids have for dinner tonight, what went off a few days ago. We have no way, I don't throw food away. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that, that's just how we are.
Yes.
So naturally, like before masks came about, we'd use wastage fabrics for jewellery bags or stuff like that, and now we can obviously use those for masks. But we really tried to sample only once.
Yep.
Like I don't want excess sampling, or it's like if the damages that we have and stuff, we're going to start working with New Life, so a charity that then repurposes that product. They strip it and put it in baby car seats, or they might de-label and then in 5 years' time can sell it in a charity shop or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Recycled fabric, so every month we aim to improve by 5% on our sustainable fabric offering. So I think it was 50% of wovens for October, but with knitwear that's different. So as we go into new product areas as well, certain fabrics are easier to get sustainable, like wovens or recycled polyesters, but we're working on, like the swimwear that we launched was made from all recycled bottles. So the outerwear for the first time, that's recycled nylon. So there's for autumn winter. So every month we're just working on increasing that. So by spring summer next year, to have 50% of all the offering will be sustainable.
It's very clear that it's important to you as a brand and also to you as a person that all women feel amazing wearing Never Fully Dressed. So how does that affect your design process?
When I started the markets, everything was one size, because I didn't come from a design background, so I could make a big kaftani style, and then obviously there were different women come to the store, and it was then, oh, how would you wear that, or how would you tie it to make it work for you? So I think subconsciously that message is carried through, because we both might be a size 14, but you might be big boobed and I'm big on bottom, or, so we both buy that 14 in the dress, but there's smaller design elements, and we're still learning with it, but that we'll introduce to then make it, so rather we're going to start doing so on our wrap dresses, there's a button inside, whereas now we're going to make that to just a really tiny little tie, so it just gives you a little bit, whether your waist is at a different height from mine, or gives them a little bit more flexibility in the product to make it work for your figure, even though we're buying the same size product.
On your Instagram as well, you show how women can wear it, and I think that's just such an amazing thing that you guys do as a brand.
Yeah.
to really show your
Because what a
customers.
shame to think if you're going, like people breastfeed maybe for a year.
Yeah.
And what are you going to wear? And that you still want to feel
Nice.
yourself,
Yeah.
feel sexy or feel colourful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think sets Never Fully Dressed apart from other fashion brands? Now, we have mentioned sustainability, we've mentioned
Yeah.
ethos brands, so we probably have covered this, but I want to hear it from you.
No, I would think an honesty around what we do.
Yeah.
So the community that we've built with our customer base, and how important and customer centric we are, like
Yeah.
how important our customer is to us. Community focused, and I think our voice is just, I say, just honest. So that you can pick up a phone and the person is genuinely wants to help what you want to wear
Yeah.
to a wedding, or if
Yeah.
you've got an issue. Whereas I think there are companies, if I've got an issue with something, it's just an absolute nightmare to get in
Yeah.
touch with anyone, or like it's robot, like
Yeah.
bots on a
Yeah.
chat or whatever. I think we're just really personal.
You may have already answered this because we know that Beyonce has worn Never
Okay,
Fully Dressed.
sorry.
But who would be your dream person, whether that's a celeb,
You say the Queen. I was
influencer?
going to say the Queen.
The Queen would be amazing.
How would it with the Queen? I was going to say because Beyonce's the Queen, but in a different.
In a different way.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We are
Laura.
Pete Starbuck.